I remember in the football college, the boys in there, well, it is not what it is today because they've run it aground. But the boys in there, coming from different parts of the world, of Nigeria, hardworking young boys, trained about 3 to 4 hours a day, and they had to go for lectures. And these boys, when it was holiday time, they never wanted to go home. Whenever their parents came for them, they'll tell the parents they don't want to go home. Why? Because the environment was right for them. They had everything in there. So they could tell their mom, because the mothers are always called most times, oh, let's go home. Mothers are very doting. But these kids will tell their mothers, I'm not going home. They had already formed that personality in that college of excellence. We need to build more of that in this country. We need to take our kids away from the streets. I disagree to a large extent on these issues of modern technology, where children sit down and play on computers. I believe in the physical aspect of sports. I believe in the physique of Nigerian kids. I believe in the strength and might of Nigerian kids. I believe in their power. I'll give you a good example. In Nigeria 94, I was privileged to sit next to President Bush, the senior one, the ex-president of America. And we were playing Bulgaria, I remember quite rightly. And this is a lighter note. And he asked me, excuse me, your players are really strong. They are very, very strong. He said, I've never seen this strength in football. He says, what do you feed them with? Oh, I said, Your Excellency, we feed them with cassava and we charge them with electricity. He went, wow. I said, yeah, that's what we do. But those boys, I'll tell you, those boys train 6 hours a day. In that team, we had the Igbo Mafia, we had the Yoruba Mafia, we had the Edo Mafia. And a Dutchman was able to manage them. He gave them all those names. He gave them all those names. He was able to manage them. And that was just a short-term project. I am talking about long-term projects. Long-term projects for world beaters. And like I said, long-term project for those kids that are going to be the new green, white, green fighting machine of Nigeria. The new green, white, green fighting machines will have to go through this channel of education, a channel of scouting policies, a channel of development that will make them men, but not only footballers, but well-rounded experts in different areas. A college where they will go through the proper institutional, secondary institutional program and mixed with vocational training, mixed with leadership training, so that when they leave, they become leaders in different fields. They all are not going to make football, but they will all be leaders in the future. Sports is a special thing. Sports is what takes you, what makes you a special leader. And Nigeria has what it takes. I don't care whatever we say. It is such a big disgrace that I sit down, or when I go to the gym in the mornings on Mondays, I hear fellow Nigerians talking about my team. And the teams they talk about are Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Barcelona. That is their team, my team. It's time we change that. It's time where we have Nigerian teams, the future ones, without corruption, without match fixing, teams that will come and play and the world will watch and celebrate. Because Nigeria has it, and Nigeria will never ever fail when the right thing is done. My nomenclature has evolved. And well, basically, at the time I wrote this, I talked about this about 19 years ago. I was talking about colleges of excellence, but I believe in the national football colleges. And I believe in model colleges for sports. And those model colleges can be, we can pick them up so easily, and it's not going to cost us that much. Other issues may arise, such as school fees and scholarships. Our main objective is, and will remain, that regardless of circumstances, any and all children with the requisite skills and passion for football are to be afforded the opportunity to explore and exploit their God-given talent to the best of their ability. Whether you're a kid of a poor, or from a poor family or from a rich family, you all become one. The beauty of sports is that sports does not know where you come from. Football is a team spirit. It's not about who your father is or who your mother is. It's about the spirit, the team spirit. If you can develop, if we can build those kids at that level, there'll be less greed and and that me issue in whatever we do. Football is very, very important. The colleges of excellence is very, very key in whatever we do. But then, we have to look at the clear-cut aspect. When these kids, and the other thing is that when they are leaving those colleges, they have to be protected. We need to have also, in those colleges, we need to have a league system. And the beauty of it all is that when this league system starts in secondary school level, you have more followership than the so-called professional league we have today. Because the secondary school kids can identify with their fellow students that are excelling in the game at that level. In the 70s and the 60s, we had Principals Cup. The best players evolved from there into the national teams of Nigeria. You could identify the players that were going to make the national team of Nigeria. We need to go back and build more and build above that board, because that system was there then, but we threw it away. We need to go back round the table and build a very positive structure for this nation. The commercial perspective is very, very important, but I will come into that later. But we talk about professional football. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've got too much passion for it, so it's all right. Just a few minutes, let me wrap it up. So I've finished with that, but then these kids will also need a proper structure where they are protected, where they will have a drafting system, a system that we will ensure that they make the national sides and the league sides of Nigeria. Not the system I see today where coaches in the league collect money from players before making their teams in Nigeria. That will have to stop. But for me to round up, the commercial aspect is very important. But to round up, I will go again and say, as much as I've spoken, because of the critical role I envisage for the national and regional football structure, I would like to conclude with some comments on the particular area and jigsaw, how very important it is. The importance of the structure as an educational structure cannot be compromised. Provision should be made for the majority of the national junior teams to be staffed by graduates of Nigerian football college system. This college system would over time enable us build a Nigerian style of football. Across all the colleges, there must be uniformity in training methods so that the same skill sets are being imparted across the board. Facilities and standards must be industrial compliant. This in turn will reinforce international best practices for the earlier stages of engagement. The remit of the colleges will encompass not just players, but also the many other critical elements in a successful footballing structure. This includes coaches, trainers, managers, physiotherapists, nutritionists, match officials. Ensuring coordinated policies and programs throughout the length and breadth of Nigerian football will be responsibility of the National Football College. This will likely require legislation, but I pray someday that will come. But all I want to say here, the future of Nigerian football is in the colleges. And secondly, the team that will win the first World Cup before the boys win it, I can tell you today, they are ready. They don't need that much, are the girls. They will win the World Cup, but with the proper technical team, not the Alamala technical team. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello. Passion, passion, passion. So very quickly, because we're on a live telecast, I would want to head straight to our next and final speaker. At the heart of the diversification of Nigeria's economy is a nascent sector. And our next speaker will be speaking on the potentials in agriculture. It's no other person than Mr. Emmanuel Itoya Ijewere. It's one of Nigeria's most eminent businessmen with extensive experience and interests across the banking, the finance, and agricultural spectrums. He's a past president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, and the Institute of Directors and the Nigerian Red Cross. His national assignments have included chairmanship of the